think Coca-Cola makes the Coke in your fridge? Think again. Coca-Cola might not have made that can at all. So, who did?
Hi, welcome to another episode of Future Ledger. In today's video, we're going to answer one sneaky little question. Who actually makes the Coke sitting in your fridge right now? Here's a fun experiment. Go ask any adult you know, hey, does Coca-Cola make Coke? They'll probably laugh at you, obviously, right? It's literally in the name. Except, here's the twist. The company called Coca-Cola has probably never actually touched the can sitting in your hand. Not once. Somebody else made it. Somebody else filled it. Somebody else drove it to your store. So if Coca-Cola didn't make your Coke, who did? Stick around because the answer is way weirder than you think. Okay, but why should you even care who fills a soda can? Here's why. This isn't just a Coke thing. Loads of the biggest brands you know don't actually make what they sell. Some restaurants aren't even owned by the company on the sign. Some snacks in your pantry weren't made by the snack company at all. Once you understand how Coca-Cola really works, you'll start noticing this trick everywhere. Hiding in plain sight, on almost every shelf at the grocery store. So how does a company sell billions of drinks a year without actually making most of them? Let's rewind to where this whole trick began. Back in 1886, a pharmacist in Atlanta, Georgia, mixed up a syrupy drink in a backyard kettle. He called it Coca-Cola. At first, it was tiny, just a few glasses a day, sold at one drugstore counter. Here's the part almost nobody remembers. Coca-Cola almost never became a bottled drink at all. For years, you could only get it fresh from a soda fountain. Mixed on the spot, glass by glass, kind of like how you'd order a fresh smoothie today. Then, in 1899, two lawyers showed up with a wild idea. They asked Coca-Cola for the rights to bottle the drink and sell it in stores everywhere, forever. And Coca-Cola's owner said, sure, why not? And sold them those rights for about $1. $1? That's less than a can of Coke costs today. That one tiny decision made in a matter of minutes is the exact reason your Coke today doesn't come straight from Atlanta. So what did those two lawyers actually go on to build with their $1 deal? Those two lawyers built something clever. An army of local bottling companies all across the country, each one owning the right to bottle Coke in their own little territory. Coca-Cola didn't have to build a single new factory. It just kept making its secret syrup, shipped it out, and let hundreds of separate local businesses do all the hard, expensive work. The bottles, the trucks, the delivery routes, all of it. This idea worked so well, it spread everywhere. Soon there were Coca-Cola bottlers on every continent, each one its own company, each one just following the recipe. Coca-Cola got bigger and bigger by doing less and less of the actual making. So if a huge chunk of Coca-Cola isn't even run by Coca-Cola, what exactly is Coca-Cola still in charge of? Here's the twist that makes this whole thing click. Coca-Cola kept one thing locked in a vault and gave away almost everything else. That one thing is the syrup, the secret concentrate. Only a tiny handful of people even know the full recipe. Coca-Cola makes that part, and only that part, in a small number of guarded facilities. Everything after that, turning the syrup into an actual can of fizzy Coke and getting it to your local store, is handled by separate bottling companies. Not employees, not branches, Real, independent businesses with their own bosses and their own trucks simply allowed to use Coca-Cola's name and formula. So if you buy a Coke in the UK, it probably wasn't made by Coca-Cola in Atlanta at all. It was made by a completely different company just down the road from you. Which brings up a genuinely funny question. Does Coca-Cola even own these bottling companies? Or is the relationship way stranger than that? Here's the part that's honestly a little embarrassing for Coca-Cola. Sometimes it doesn't own the bottling companies at all. And here's the funniest bit. Coca-Cola actually knows it made a mistake giving away those rights for $1, and it has spent almost 100 years trying to buy them back. Starting in the 1920s, Coca-Cola began quietly buying up bottling companies one by one, trying to undo that tiny 1899 deal. It bought one bottler back in 1974, another one in 1986. It's honestly still doing this, slowly, in different parts of the world today. And this is the twist, even after a century of buying things back, Coca-Cola still doesn't own most of its bottlers. In huge parts of the world, completely separate companies are still the ones actually making your Coke. Right now, in 2026. So who exactly are these mystery companies quietly making Coke behind the scenes, all over the planet? Today, giant bottling companies you've probably never even heard of are the ones actually making your Coke. Companies with names like Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific Partners, which bottles Coke across Europe and parts of the Pacific. Or Coca-Cola FEMSA, a huge company based in Mexico that bottles Coke across most of Latin America. Or Swire Coca-Cola, bottling it across parts of Asia and the United States. Here's the wild part. Some of these bottling companies are so big, they're their own separate businesses on the stock market, with their own stock price completely different from Coca-Cola's stock price. Two totally different companies, both with Coca-Cola in the name, and neither one fully controls the other. They buy the secret syrup, add fizzy water and sugar, seal it in a can, and ship it to your local store. Coca-Cola itself never touches a single can. So if the actual soda company barely makes soda anymore, what does that actually make Coca-Cola? So what does that make Coca-Cola if it's barely a soda-making company anymore? Honestly, it's more like a really, really good recipe box and a famous logo rented out to businesses all over the world. And here's the thing. That setup isn't going anywhere. Coca-Cola gets to focus on the one job it's genuinely amazing at: protecting a secret formula and keeping the brand famous, without spending billions building factories on every continent. Loads of companies today copy this exact same trick. You've probably eaten at a restaurant or used a product, built this same sneaky way without even realizing it. So next time you see a brand that seems to be absolutely everywhere at once, it might be worth asking whether they're really building it all themselves or quietly running the same clever trick Coca-Cola figured out over 100 years ago. Thanks for sticking with us on this one. So, who actually makes your Coke? Coca-Cola makes the secret syrup, but a separate bottling company, one you've probably never heard of, turns that syrup into the actual can in your fridge. It's not a conspiracy. It's just one of the oldest, cleverest business tricks in the world, hiding in plain sight on nearly every shelf at the grocery store. Thanks for watching this episode of Future Ledger. If you like learning the hidden secrets behind the brands you already know, subscribe, because there's a lot more hiding in your fridge, your pantry, and your closet than you think.